So, I'm here to discuss who I think is going to win the Game of Thrones in season 8. Before I talk about that, I just want to tell everyone that I have this ring that I bought and I've declared for House Stark. So, I really love all the characters there for various reasons. It's just that they tend to be the humble, the family, the ones that want to do good in this world, and the ones that to be quite honest. So anyways, I don't actually think they're going to win the Game of Thrones. The person who I think is going to win the throne is Euron Greyjoy. And the reason is because during the Game of Thrones premiere, he said in an interview on the red carpet, he said to someone, "I'll tell you something. I'm one of the only ones with a happy ending." So, what does a happy ending mean to Euron? He is currently the king of the Iron Islands. That's obviously, we know that's not enough for him. He wants the whole thing. He wants to rule the Seven Kingdoms. So, in order for Euron to have a happy ending, he is not only just alive, he is ruling the Seven Kingdoms. He won't settle for something small. When I think about him, I think of go big or go home. And that seems to be the way Euron functions. He's a bad boy. He goes for it. He takes risks. He's ballsy. He's strong, and he's just, in so many ways, evil and obviously purely power hungry. Another thing that alludes to that not alludes to this, but sort of supports this argument, is when Yara and Theon first meet Daenerys. They basically tell Dany that Euron wants to come and bring his ships, and I think, as Yara put it, give Dany his big cock, which means to obviously marry her. And they say that he'll turn his back on Dany or kill her as soon as he gets what he wants. So, I mean, even without that line, we know that that's his personality. So maybe he'll kill Cersei, I don't know. So maybe there's a parallel there, I don't know. Either way, we know that he is going to end up have a happy ending. Then I was rewatching, actually I rewatched every single episode in preparation for season 8, episode 1. And in the episode Eastwatch, so that's season 7, episode 5, that's actually the episode where Gilly is reading one of the books and realized that one of the maesters annulled the marriage between Rhaegar and Elia Martell. And Sam's sitting there and doesn't even hear what she says. So what that means is that there's a very, very key some key information presented to us in a way that we don't really think it's that important in any way, and none of the other character, well, the only other character there was Samwell Tarly, and he wasn't really listening. So, another thing that happens in this episode, it's very similar to Gilly finding it out and Sam not listening, is earlier on at the episode. I think it's at 20 minutes and 50 seconds. Samwell Tarly, he's talking to the maesters. They're sitting in a group of people, and he's trying to convince them the White Walkers exist, and they don't basically believe it. So as Sam's walking out, the maesters aren't really paying attention to him. Sam's kind of, well, not kind of annoyed, pretty annoyed, and he's walking out. The maesters actually say something to each other, so they're sitting there sort of putting down and disbelieving these things that they don't think are real, like the White Walkers, or I'm not sure what they think of dragons at that point, but things generally that the scientific mind doesn't like to accept. So as Sam's walking out, what they say, so they say this in a way that's kind of nonchalant, and it just seems like in passing in conversation. They say that Jaime Holston is his name, or Holstrom, claimed to have be a descendant from the Children of the Forest. So I'm not sure about this, but there could be some connection between this Jaime character and the Night King, and I suspect this this Jaime character lived a long time ago, before the time we're presented with. So that, I think, is a key. I'm not sure if Jaime is the Night King or what the deal is there. But the next line that they say is that Lotus said that the drowned god will rise up and destroy the Aegon the Conqueror. So they kind of laugh at this and shrug it off, but here's the thing. They were referring to Aegon the First, and they were referring to the Salt King, which is obviously the drowned god, the king of the Iron Islands. So that's what they were referring to. So they said that the Lotus said that the drowned god will rise up and destroy Aegon the Conqueror. So they're talking about Aegon the First. But in this, what I think is a prophecy, what it actually means is that the drowned god, aka Euron Greyjoy, will kill Aegon Targaryen, Aegon the Seventh, which is, as we know, Jon Snow. So this prophecy was done a long time ago. They don't believe it, and it's referring to not Aegon the First, not the King of the Iron Islands at that time, however long ago this was, but it's actually referring to Euron Greyjoy and Jon Snow, aka Aegon the Targaryen the Seventh. So that, combined with the fact that Pilo, the actor who plays Euron Greyjoy, said that he has a happy ending and he's a go big or go home kind of guy, plus the fact that the writers clearly like to say very important things in passing and not make it very obvious. The whole series is, in so many ways, it deals with subtleties and not being direct, and very creative and very brilliant and very smart ways. And that's part of this game that they play. So I wouldn't be surprised in the same episode we got two really, really, really great Easter eggs. It would just, I think not that it draws some parallels there, it's just that just to have two very important points in the same episode just seems to have some sort of meaning to me. And the way they present it, like I said, is if it doesn't really matter, like it's just sort of small talk. But the writers don't waste a breath. They don't waste a line. They don't waste the space. They don't waste a word. So I think this conversation that the Maesters are having actually has a lot of weight. So again, I think Euron Greyjoy is going to be our winner in the end. He's going to be the king of the Seven Kingdoms. I'd like to say for better or for worse, but I think most people would agree that it's the worst. So that's it. Okay, thanks.